There is a very specific thrill to the idea of a sudden windfall, millions of dollars handed over overnight, wiping the slate clean. Most players chase that thrill on impulse. You walk into a convenience store for a soda, grab a quick pick ticket at the register, and leave it to pure chance. In fact, about 80% of all lottery wins happen exactly like this. But there is a completely different approach. A specific group of players rejects right and chance entirely, relying instead on intense manifestation and rigid astrological timing to pick their moments. Take the Vedic astrological framework promoted by practitioners like Aggie. In this system, celestial events aren't treated as background noise. They are viewed as fated, karmic turning points that align with massive, sudden shifts in a person's life. So, if you decide to map your financial risks to the cosmos, the question is, what are you actually getting for all that effort? Does studying the stars actually change your odds of winning, or does it just change your behavior? In Vedic astrology, solar and lunar eclipses act as massive planetary triggers. They serve as highly volatile windows where sudden events, like a lottery win, are most likely to strike. This table compares the two methods directly. Standard ticket buyers operate on a daily, impulsive, random loop. Astrological players operate on a calculated, rare, transit-based schedule. Look at the right side of this chart. Implementing this transit-based schedule requires a serious time investment. You have to learn an entirely new, highly complex system just to know when to buy a ticket. The true cost of this strategy is the hours spent calculating your chart, rather than the dollars spent at the register. It forces a specific trade. You give up the cheap, easy thrill of scratching a daily ticket, and in return, you get a deeply structured, methodical waiting game. To even begin using this system, you need to calculate your precise Vedic rising and moon signs. Because Vedic astrology uses a different calculation method than popular Western astrology, the signs you think you know will likely change. Your entire profile has to be rebuilt from scratch. This flowchart breaks down the process, starting with step 1. Pinning down these signs locates the specific money houses on your natal chart. Moving to the next node shows exactly where an upcoming eclipse will land in your specific chart. This creates a massive barrier to entry. If you just want to throw $5 at a jackpot, you are not going to sit down and plot planetary degrees. By completing this initial mapping, the player stops viewing the lottery as an exercise in blind luck. They start treating it as a system they can control. Astrologers point to two specific target zones when searching for lottery luck: the 5th and 8th houses. The 5th house governs the realm of speculation, risk, and games of chance. The 8th house oversees shared resources, taxes, and sudden, unexpected wealth. The core strategy relies entirely on waiting for an eclipse to land directly in one of these two specific sectors. Looking back at the flowchart, adding steps 2 and 3 reveals highly concentrated action windows, perhaps only September 7th and September 21st. This calendar visualization illustrates the trade-off. To follow the system, you must sit out the vast majority of drawings all year long. Skipping the daily drawings drops your annual gambling expenditure close to zero. But because you are actively waiting for an astrologically significant date, you never actually feel like you are missing out. There is one final layer to the calculations. Astrologers look for what they call multipliers, specifically the planets Jupiter and Rahu. Jupiter serves as the indicator for massive expansion and broad opportunity. Rahu acts as the wild card. It represents a chaotic, magnifying energy that amplifies whatever it touches. Finding conjunctions or trines that involve both Jupiter and Rahu, specifically during an eclipse, inside one of your money houses is exceedingly rare. In theory, identifying this exact alignment isolates the absolute peak moment for a shocking windfall. Waiting for these specific mathematical and planetary conditions to align requires years of discipline and extreme patience. Warning tone: the framework takes a player who might impulsively bleed cash at the corner store every week and converts them into an infrequent, highly strategic buyer. You surrender the illusion that you can force a win today and instead adopt a disciplined, patient approach to managing your risk. This scorecard evaluates the astrological method across 3 strict criteria: financial risk control, entertainment value, and mathematical efficacy. This strategy maps perfectly to someone playing purely for entertainment or the spiritual optimizer enjoying the ritual of analyzing data. It scores high on entertainment and risk control because it provides a rigid, engaging rule set dictating exactly when you spend your budget. By trusting the stars, you protect your wallet, simply because you are barred from playing 360 days of the year. However, if you seek a genuine mathematical edge, or might use a faded eclipse to justify gambling rent money, this system is highly dangerous. The foundational rule of any lottery applies here. You must never play with money you can't afford to lose, regardless of what your chart says. Vedic astrology may never actually predict the winning numbers, but if you follow its rules, it operates as the ultimate disguised psychological budgeting tool.